What's up, guys? My name is Aaron, aka Super Liger Tiger, and this is Worth It. Welcome back, everyone. In case you forgot what Worth It is, I buy a product, I tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and in the comments below, you let me know if it's worth it or not. And while you're here, make sure to like and subscribe so I can continue to make more fun videos like this. So today on Worth It, we're gonna talk about the return and the re-rise of handheld gaming consoles, which kind of started with the Nintendo Switch. All y'all probably know what that is, but I feel like that really pushed things to being a lot more portable than what we've had in past years. Kind of what came after that, at least to me, is a secret console that I've been trying to make a video on for months. This is a pressurized water deck, I guess. And besides that, a competitor to that one became like the Logitech G Cloud, the new Asus ROG Ally. But what if you want a smaller form console that can play like retro games that you've been wanting to play, since they're kind of locked behind certain paywalls or aspects, or you have to go through ROMing and things in order to make a certain pressurized deck play them. Therefore, today on Worth It, we're going to talk about the Anbernic RG35XX console. I've been seeing this a lot more in certain communities for playing older games and everything like that. This is an Amazon secondary product, so let's open it up. Alright, so here is the Anbernic RG35XX, what a wild name, console. Once again, I kind of explained this a second ago, but this is a product that was returned to Amazon. That's why the sticker's on it, which obviously says, thanks to you, this product has a second life, etc, etc. It has a very generic bag. I don't know if the console itself, if you buy it new, has a non-generic looking bag, but here is the box itself. This is covered by an Amazon label. It's a nice cardboardy feel on each side. Has a picture of what the console looks like. There's nothing really on the sides. This one just says made in China and all of those little symbols here. This one is what color I chose, so there's three different ones: gray, transparent white, and transparent purple. Opening up the box, we have the console right here, wrapped in what I always felt like is not good wrap. Taking it out, and then taking it out of this like wrap, plastic, whatever. It has like a, well, I guess because it was returned, they put like this like foamy stuff over it. I assume in the newer one it looks nicer, but taking this off, and we have the console itself, which is very remnant of a certain Game Boy Color that I'll just compare later on. Here's the back of it. You have 4 buttons back here for R1, R2, L1, L2. On the front, you have your your directional pad, select, start, menu, and then your buttons here. Do feel pretty good so far. The screen is pretty wide, which is nice. Besides that, you have a port for your headphones. This is for DC, I assume it's charging. Or maybe, and then yeah, it is for charging. And then up here, you actually have an HDMI port so that you can plug this in and play from your TV, which is kind of interesting. Down here we have, oh, they come with wet wipes. That's pretty cool. And it comes with a screen protector. I don't know if that was actually part of just like someone returning this, that it came with a screen protector. There's none on the console itself right now, but it has a screen protector, which is really nice if the new packaging came with that as well. If not, it's okay. Inside this smaller box, I assume what I think is, yep, this is the USB-C cable. And it's actually pretty long, which is nice. You know I'm going to do a first impression on that. Here's the manual, and I realized that on the box it said that this is the gray one, but it's actually the transparent purple. Maybe they gave me the wrong box. Maybe someone switched these out, and maybe this doesn't work. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, besides that, here is what to expect with the Anbernic RG35XX unboxing console. Alright, so some first impressions for the Anbernic RG35XX is that if you are buying this new, hopefully it does come with a screen protector, because, and this might be very hard to see, or you might just see the reflection of the camera. There's already a lot of dust on this, and I just took this out a few minutes ago. When you plug this in, and hopefully this shows up, my cable might not be long enough, but the screen will actually show the battery is charging. Oh, here we go. There you have that. On the top, there is a tiny orange light that shows up. You have to look really closely in order to see it. I also realized that on the unboxing, I didn't mention that the power button is on the side right here. There's a, I assume this R is for reset button. Let me actually get these closer. So yeah, right here is the power button. Down here is the reset button. And then for an SD card or micro SD, you would put it in this slot here. And I assume this might be like an extended slot. So you have two slots here for micro SD in case you want to play every game that ever existed. Anyway, I'm gonna get the screen protector on this, gonna clean it off, gonna charge it, and then we'll try it out. Alright, so I've had this charging for about an hour now. I am noticing that after the long period of charging, it is kind of pretty warm back here, so I hope that's not an indicator of something bad. I also did mess up the screen cover a lot. I don't know if you could see it up here, but look at that glorious bubble of air. That's great. So anyway, besides that, I think we have enough battery to turn this on. Yep. So it looks like you do have to hold this down for a little bit of time. You have our like opening screen that says Anbernic, and then right here you have our, I guess it's very basic looking menu. On the first one you have game rooms, which I'll figure out what that means. The second one is favorites, so I guess the ones you like a lot. History, ones you've played before. Search, and then settings. It also has a nice little noise to it. It's a nice little water noise. Pushing into game rooms goes into here, and we already have like PS1 games. We have Vertical Arcade, whatever that means. We have CPS games, which I don't know what that is either. Neo Geo, know that one. Game Boy, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and then even going down, what is SMS game? Game Boy, and all these other ones. They have pictures next to it, so I guess it helps, but I don't know what some of these are. But it looks like, and also based on what was in the description, it already has like 5,000 games on it or whatever, but you can obviously download your own if you want to. Volume also is on the left side, so just turning that down a little bit. Looks like it does take actually a good amount of time to charge, because if this focuses, there we go, on the upper right, I'm only at half battery and it's been an hour, so it probably does take a lot of time, or at least maybe 2 to 3 hours to fully charge 100%. Let's try to see what a game looks like. I'm going to go straight into the PS1 games, and I'll actually go to Tekken 3 since I feel like that at the time was very graphics heavy. We have the loading screen, well, for the game itself. You have the opening cutscene, which doesn't look bad. It looks like, as you probably remember from playing on a PS1. We'll actually skip through it. It does look pretty nice. Alright, here you go. And then here's the menu. Let's get into an actual fight. Alright, and actually, it does look like it works pretty well. Everything does feel pretty responsive so far. There's no like real lag in the buttons or anything like that, which means that Tekken isn't really too hard to fight, or not fight, to play right now on here. Yeah, and just the graphics do look like they work pretty well. No real issues so far, which is pretty cool. So then, besides doing Tekken 3, I actually went into the menu again and just kind of looked at the breakdown of all of these and kind of added up all the columns that they have here, all the numbers of games. And it looks like on this right here, the Anbernic RG35XX, it already comes preloaded with 5,535 games. You'll probably play like 6 of them. That will bring the nostalgia trip, which for me is okay. I actually went in and favored basically all of the Final Fantasies, all of the Pokemons, Chrono Trigger, my most favorite game ever, Donkey Kong Country, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Earthbound, and basically all of those that I've played, that I've wanted to play, that the reason why I got this for. Now, functionality-wise, this right here is Game Boy Color, if you remember it. This is my original one, had this since I I was a young little boy. And just here is the comparison between them. Game Boy Color is longer, but on the side it also is kind of similar in width. I feel like the Anbernic is a little bit thinner than the Game Boy only because of the battery part on the back. Instead of having like a cartridge slot and a battery slot, they do have the battery down here, but it is replaced also with the four L1, L2, R1, R2, and just in your pocket, this looks like it'll fit immediately, which I guess is great to have a screen protector in case you scratch it going in and out of your pockets. Yeah, in my pocket, it doesn't really feel like it's taking up a lot of room. I feel like it also wouldn't take up a lot of room in like a backpack, where if you're packing it for your luggage, if you're taking it on a trip, this is actually a lot more portable than like the Steam Deck or like I wasn't allowed to say Steam Deck, or the Switch, or any of those, just because it's like half of the size of it and is just easier to pack. Now, some of the negatives, I guess for me at least, is, well, first of all, there is a search function on here, and it's pretty helpful if you are looking for a specific game. I love that they have that. But I am noticing, after searching up a certain Mario by a certain Nintendo, there is no Mario games on this console, and I wonder if it's because Nintendo told them no, or something like that. But that's not really a big issue, because you can just, you know, potentially find certain game ROMs and potentially put them on here yourself. That's kind of up to you. I was actually hoping to play Legend of the Seven Stars because I never played it before, but that might be something I'll have to look into. But yeah, there's no Nintendo 64, there's no Dreamcast, there's no Mario games, none of those, which is kind of a negative, especially when you have 5,535 games on here. There are a lot of Japanese translated and non-translated games on here, which is cool if you've never played them. Second thing, as we mentioned, you have a directional pad right here. For those of you that are not young enough to remember playing on a Super Nintendo, that fighting games on this is pretty rough. I was actually playing the Power Rangers fighting game. I think I already have developed a blister on this thumb, and it's not really a long-term fun aspect for fighting games, especially when all you really have is a directional pad. So if you are looking to primarily use this for fighting games, this might be more of a hindrance than helpful for you, and it might be better if you instead like put them on like a Steam Deck or, you know, pressurized water deck instead. Alright, so overall, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon on this, especially Pokemon Emerald, which I never played before. And this is just a really cool device. You can play it, honestly, anywhere as long as you have downtime. It fits in all the pockets. Without having a joystick or anything, I can actually now see why I don't have Nintendo games on here, or at least Nintendo 64, because that sounds like it would be the worst thing possible. Any game that you feel like would require a joystick, I don't feel like this would be a great console for it. But older games like Super Nintendo, all the Nintendo, Game Boy, anything like that, they work pretty well. Even Tekken, even though it might hurt you because it's a fighting game, it's still pretty fun to play and works pretty smoothly. Now, a few final details. Battery life on this does last around 5 to 6 hours. So if you are looking for something that's super long and super endearing for whatever travels you'll be doing, you might need a battery pack in order to charge this and have it going for more than 6 hours. The other thing, if this does focus, everything is kind of in this like HD display, but if you don't like that, you can actually go into menu, and then hopefully this shows up, but going down to video display effect, you can change it to like dot matrix, you can change it to like fast, scanline 2, scanline 1, and it'll change kind of how the game would look. Like switching this one to dot matrix has more of that like Game Boy Advance look, whereas the HD kind of just adds that like HD filter. So if the HD filter looks weird to you, you can always change that. For certain parts of the games, or certain games actually, you can change some of the other aspects in the options, and it's actually really kind of customizable to how you want to play it. Now, if you are wanting to kind of change settings around or go with like a better look, if you look up something called Garlic OS, that is a new system that someone built for the Anbernic. You can download that. increase performance. It'll improve like all your backgrounds, whatever. Makes it more customizable for you. So I do recommend looking into that. It's something I haven't done yet, but from what I've seen in like Reddit posts, YouTube, everything like that, it is a really great, useful OS to have over the one that's already installed here. Now, if you are looking to get your own Anbernic RG35XX, if you want the fastest option, Amazon has it right now for around $70. If you don't mind waiting and kind of want a cheaper option, you can go to Temu and find it for around $63. You can find it on AliExpress for around $55. Sometimes there are deals that were happening where this was actually on sale for like $30 at one point, except you won't get it for another like 2 months. So I guess it all depends on if you want to spend more money in order to get it faster, or if you want to wait and spend less money. So overall, the Anbernic RG35XX, I'm never going to memorize that pronunciation, is a pretty cool console. It has a great portability, fits in my pocket, fits in my bags. It plays 5,535 different games, in which I'm probably playing 6 of them right now. The only thing is, if you do want to play fighting games, or you want to play Nintendo 64 games, or anything like that that involves a joystick, this is not really a fun option. The directional pad does feel exactly like the Super Nintendo one, which hurt my thumbs, so this one will eventually hurt my thumbs as well. So, for the nostalgia factor, is it worth it? Let me know!